Hello YouTube, this is Jared here with my first update for the SKAVEN painting challenge for the month of August. So, the challenge is to paint 92 SKAVEN models in 1 month, and after a couple days I have a little bit of progress to show off. So, this will probably be a fairly short video, but I wanted to highlight how much I've gotten done in the last couple days as I have started in on this project. So I didn't have a lot of modeling to do, but quite a few of these square bases are now round bases. And so we have gotten a good 40-something rats off their square bases onto round bases. I got magnets on the bottom, got some air dry clay on here, and then I have gotten them rebased. And so that is 40 done, 40 left to go. And then you can tell also they're hardly showing on camera, but they are now black primed. So got the nice black primer on them. I'll be dry brushing white and painting them up soon. And so I've got the wizard ready to go. I've got 40 clan rats ready to go. This will be the 20 gutter runners and I believe the 20 plague guys as well. So that's what's primed now. And then the other 40 will be on circle bases, and they'll get their air dry clay and basing material and magnets, and they'll be round 2. I didn't want to do 80 at the same time. And so that's been done. They're ready to paint. And then the three big guys are also ready to go. These guys were a lot of fun to build. And so they're all primed up, ready for a dry brushing. And then I'm sure at least one of their wires will fall off. They always do. And so I'll get that done. And then in terms of what's actually painted, I've got 3 heroes done. We've got our Plague Priest. Very happy with how he came out. I love the greens, and he's showing up really good on camera. The warpstone glow and the sensor glow, he looks great. And then I got the 2 little molder guys done as well too. So we have 2 master molders ready to go and start working. There's a few colors on the big guy in the corner over there. I had some extra pink on my brush, so I figured I might as well do an undercoat for his tail. So, haven't done much on him, but the big project I got finished this night was this guy right here. And I'm really happy with how the warp fire cannon has come out, because I have painted both it and the crew, and then I've added some, as basing, these little rat families. And then the gun does still, despite everything, it does still move. So I'm really happy about that. And you can see got the nice warpstone glow going on here. And then it looks like so well. And then I also have the wheels that I made, and you can kind of see the wood grain texture that I was able to create using my sculpting tools. So really happy that the wheels I sculpted turned out nice. The warpstone is glowing. The rats are running. So this was a fun way to kick this project off. I got one out of 3 big guys done, 3 heroes done, and then I've also painted up a bunch of these little basing rats. And so these little tiny rats, I believe, were an old world unit, but they don't have any rules for Age of Sigmar. So really, they're just to be basing bits, but I always like to I found that if you get your basing bits painted early, if you get the sculpting stuff done early, anything that's basing that's harder to do, if you do it early on and then you can just kind of glue it on as you go, it's a lot easier and a lot more likely to happen than if you wait till the very end and then come back and try to come back and say, all right, I've painted everything. Oh, no, wait, now I got to go paint a rock to put on the base. That's not as fun, or a set of skulls. I'm more likely to leave the skulls off or leave the fancy rock off. If everything's painted, accept it. But if I paint the detail bits for the base early before the model, then I always wind up with better bases. And so for any basing thing that needs painted, I always paint it before the model. And then if it's just basing bits, you can do that after the model. So that's usually my go-to approach. That'll be my tip for the evening for how to get your basing stuff actually done, and then not feel like, ugh, now I've got to go paint 3 skulls and a rock so I can finish this model. And no one wants to finish the model with basing bits. So paint your basing bits first, and then glue them on afterwards. That's what I did with these little rats. And I'm so glad I did, because look how cool this little rat family is. We got this little family of rats just running past the cannon. I love it. And then I got an extra soldier that I had, so I put him on here. He's walking alongside and fighting to protect the cannon. And I was reading the rules for this thing. This thing tosses mortal wounds, 20 inches, and it's going to do a bunch of mortals. So super excited to get that on the tabletop. But it's late. It's been a project, and I still have a very long way to go. But I'm happy that these guys are basically ready to go. I was looking at it. August is 4 weeks, and so if I do 20 of, let's call it, just say clan rats, 20 infantry, or clan rats a week, and then I do one of the big things, either the three guys, the three kind of centerpiece models, and then 2-ish heroes. That gets everything done. So that's how I'll know if I'm on track. If by the end of this week I have at least 20 infantry, at least 2 or 3 heroes, and at least one big thing. So I got the big thing done. I've got the heroes ready to paint, and I've got the infantry ready to paint, and I've got the heroes done already. So if I can get at least 20 of the little guys done by the end of this week, I'm definitely on track. That's the current status of this project. So far, so good. On track to get 92 Skaven. The other thing that I'm working on in the background, I happen to have, you saw my unboxing video, I happen to have some horses. These are not Skaven. These are for my Empire army. So these are old world models that I'm going to be using for my Cities of Sigmar army. And so I'm bringing these guys in as my cavalry. This will be the champion's horse. This will be the big guy. And so he's on a slightly bigger base. And then I have the various guys. So they've been primed as well. They were built, primed, and then I've been dry brushing them the other night. When I was dry brushing the other stuff, I decided to go ahead and dry brush them. So on the off chance that I can get all these rats done early, I have 12 guys. And so 92 rats, and then if I can get at least 8 of these guys painted, that would be 100 minis in 1 month. And so these are my extra models, but I wanted to show them off now so that on the off chance I actually can get to 100 painted in 1 month, that would be a cool video title. That would be worth celebrating, is if I could have 100 minis painted, and who knows, maybe get to 100 subscribers. I think that would be a fun goal to hit. I've been slowly and steadily getting subscribers, and it always makes me really happy. But if I could, if I can get I'll get these guys back in the shot here. If I can get a full 100 minis, that would be pretty special, I think. So I'm looking forward to painting these guys up. But I want to take my time with these guys. You know, I'm not going to slap 3 coats and a wash on these guys. I really want these guys to look good. And so I want to take my time. I want to really make each one of these knights special. I've wanted to paint a full squad of cavalry for a long time. I really love horse and rider. You know, the riders of Rohan and the Lord of the Rings, and, you know, King Arthur and his knights riding on horses. All of the stories and legends of knights on horses always really kind of appealed to me. So I think this will be a really fun way to finish early with the rats and give them somebody to fight, or if not, it'll be what I paint next month. And so I was really happy with how the Skaven are turning out, and I'm excited that I have kind of a little a bonus project ready to go just in case I do finish early, and it gives me you know, some dessert to look forward to after I finish my meat and my vegetables. So if I can get all the rats done, I'll celebrate with a victory lap of painting up these beautiful old school horses. And so that'll be a lot of fun. But that's the status so far. We've got 3 heroes. We've got one of the showcase or the centerpiece models, and then we're starting to get the basing done. The primers on these guys, they're ready to go. And so that makes it easier. I found if you have at least 30 models in at least 2 to 3 different armies on your painting desk that are primed and ready to paint, then you get home and you say, all right, I'm ready to paint something hard. I'm going to pick up something with a ton of detail like this. Or I'm going to get home and say, you know what? I had a long day. I just want to put metallics on rats, or paint skin on rats, and, you know, do the flesh tones or whatever it is, or do some batch painting. So I find having multiple projects is one of the best ways to paint. So that'll be my tip. Another tip for this video is have your basing bits done early, and make sure that you have more than one thing to paint on your painting desk. If you only have one thing and you don't feel like painting it, you won't paint. But if you want to paint every day, try to have 2 or 3 projects at a time. Maybe don't go past 3 projects, but 2 or 3 projects is a good balance, I found, at least for myself, where it lets me kind of have a few things to paint, but still kind of limit my options. So that's been a lot of fun. And then just having things like these little basing bits and things that'll help me be excited to finish the model really gets me excited to paint every day. And so I try to paint every single day, just for a few minutes or for an hour or whatever I have time for, because I have a very busy life, and so it's hard to find time to paint. But if I make time, it'll happen. If I don't make time, it won't happen, and so I have to choose to make time. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll make another one of these videos in a few days and have 20-something rats and more to show off. So I hope you'll stick with me, and I hope you're cheering me along as I try to beat my record for most minis painted in a month. So thanks for watching.